captured me and spot my soul, and where you lead me I will go, and in your presence I fall to my knees, just in knowing who you are.
Hey guys, here we are again. Is this gonna be the final thing on this? Sure, hope so. This is where we left off. I have been so unmotivated these past couple weeks. Like, literally the only time I'm doing artwork is when I'm streaming, which is not the best state to be in. But on the plus side, you guys don't miss anything, right? I mean, assuming you want to see everything. So where are we? Oh wow, awesome dating site. What a great follower you are. How to make a YouTube channel. Alright. It's great to get spam, very first thing. Unwanted commercial content or spam reported. Okay. Alright, I wonder if all 6 people watching are spam bots. So here's the biggest problem with where I'm at now. This area where I thinned out the red a lot. I ended up with this kind of paper cut look because the thinned out paint runs through capillary action into the little cracks, and I don't like that. So one thing I'm going to try, don't know if it'll work or not, I'm going to try to just kind of scrub that out, even though this is baked in there. I think that because it's such a thin layer of polymer, that in theory, through mechanical action, I could probably get a lot of that out. Yeah, so this is, I turned the white balance down, and now it's like super exaggerated. You can see how, like, it's half this red in real life. But anyway, you can see what I'm talking about with these little cracks. Nicholas Walker, you're not a spam bot? Excellent. I love all my non-spam bot viewers. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a stiff brush with short, stiff thingies, and I'm just going to try, let's see what happens when I scrub it with odorless mineral spirits, shall we? Jose, welcome to Chile. All Chileans I welcome. Unless you're a spam bot from Chile, in which case I do not welcome you. I do feel like I'm removing it from the surface. Haven't quite got it down into the cracks yet. That's interesting. I wonder if I just go in and scratch out the most egregious cracks. That is, I mean, that way lies the path of madness, because I could literally go in and scrape 1,000 million times. I'm more interested in just seeing, does that literally work? And it looks like it does. Oh, come on. Spammers. All of a sudden, out of nowhere. Now there's a million spammers. Why? Port. Spam. Port. Harry Hackett. How do I finish the ring collection? Tell me before I uninstall. Wow, I'm completely lost. No idea what you're talking about. Is that a reference to a meme? Is that a joke? Do you really want a ring collection from me? I just don't know. Don't know anymore. Oh, GW2. Oh, gotcha. Okay, that ring collection. I'm afraid I'm retired from the Guild Wars 2 900 tip line racket. Try calling the Nintendo tip line and see if they can help you with that. I mean, I'm definitely able to scrape a layer of the paint off if I press hard enough and scrub long enough. But it's leaving the red in the cracks, which is not my ideal. See if maybe if I use a tool that's not as sharp as an X-Acto blade. Harry, I would absolutely help you if I knew, but I literally don't know the answer to that. William says the Coalescence collection that was introduced with the Daybreak episode in Guild Wars 2. No. I didn't work on that episode. I'm not sure. Tell you, man, MMOs are so massive, so many interacting systems, so many teams and sub-teams working on so many elements of it, and then add, you know, what are we at? Are we at 5 years now? 2012, yeah, I think we've been out for over 5 years now. That's that is so much content. I cannot keep up. I'm ashamed to say I do not keep up. I enjoy my little slice of stuff, my little team, and the stuff we do. But man, knowing everything holistically, that is beyond the scope of what I can dedicate to with my life. I'm far too busy scraping paint out of tiny skin cracks That is my true calling. Clearly. Also, welcome back. Linda, hey. Miguel, hi. Pavlik. Bob from Slovenia. Welcome, Bob from Slovenia. Are you guys sick and tired of this hand yet? I can't believe anyone is still watching. I've been mucking with this so much. It's taken so much longer. And why am I still ever surprised when things take so much longer than I expect? It's ridiculous. Just assume. I mean, when I sit down and rationally budget time out, I always think, okay, so I think it's going to take 10 days. Therefore, it's going to take 2 times longer is the conservative estimate. 5 times longer is probably the realistic estimate. So if I think 10 days, it's probably 50 days. I am majorly susceptible to the planning fallacy. Even though I've read all about the planning fallacy, I've read books about how to avoid the planning fallacy. It is so deep in human psychology, and apparently my psychology in particular. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's quite informative. So, not surprisingly, this isn't just fixing my problems. However, I was going to be going over the whole thing again with kind of an olive tone, which generally, when you have different subcolors that are all put onto a base coat, putting on a unifying layer of something is recommended. It's very helpful. So, yeah, I've got, because I've got blue, like blue-gray on veins, I've got this red splotchiness, I've got the kind of ivory yellow, and what it's missing is kind of an olive sort of color to bring it all together. So, I'm going to try to mix one of those. Let's see where that gets me. Bob, I forgot to look up where Slovenia is on a map. I apologize. I came this close to doing it, and then something distracted me at the last second. Okay, I'm going to mix color. I need something clean to mix paint in. Olive is yellow and green. I've got some nice yellow over here. Do I have any green out? I don't think I do. Looks like I've never actually opened any green. Yeah. Probably want more yellow than green. Hey, I noticed last time where I had the music set, when I watched the video back, I couldn't hear any music at all. Do you guys hear any music? I need to just record the level, like write it down so I know. Right now it's set at negative 17.5 decibels. Do you guys hear that? Damon, hello. Give me your expert audio mixing opinion. Can you hear music? If so, is it the right level? Hear the music fine, it's good background level. Perfect. Okay, so let me write down the number 17 somewhere. Which means I need something to write with. Okay, here we go. 17 decibels. Okay. That way I can listen back to it. And I wish there was a script you could put on OBS that would have like different, you know, like the intro level, and then it'd be cool if there was ducking. I wonder if there was audio ducking. Really need a lot more yellow. This is not a good color to put on skin, in case you're wondering. I think I may actually mix a little gray into it to desaturate it. It's hard to tell because it's going to be thinned out so much that if I desaturate it, it may turn it almost nothing. My gut, though, is telling me this is just too bright. Ah, awesome dating site. How do you do this? I got the same thing on my website. I finally got a spam filter installed on my website, so I'm getting a lot less spam, which is awesome. Hussam Khan, hello. Just started watching your 101 Sculpey stuff yesterday. It was great. Awesome. I hope you finish it. The thing I'm working on right now is for the sequel to that series. I'm going into more, I want to call them advanced, but I'm going to call it intermediate polymer clay. Public is asking, how did I turn my passion into a career? Any tips for young artists? Well, I went to school for it, although in this day and age, I would replace that with spend whatever free time you have available online, asking questions on forums of people who do the thing you want to do, because there's a ton of tutorials and a ton of just helpful, lovely people who like to help people. So spend time pursuing an education on that. And then I ended up sending out hundreds and hundreds of applications and went through plenty of ups and downs at the beginning of my career, trying to get my career to stick, as it were. So yeah, just takes a lot of persistence. Okay, mixing some black and white in here. Be very open to criticism. That is probably the single biggest thing that holds a lot of people back, is they're too sensitive. They don't actually want to be told what they need to do to improve, because it's hard. It takes a lot of work. and it's quite possible that like it's literally out of your capability, and it's hard to be told that. Like, I really wish that I can do music, but it is out of my capability. It's still not olive. How do you make... What am I missing? What else goes into olive? I guess maybe some brown? Let's see what happens when I mix some brown in here. Alright, Damon, I'm adding you as moderator. Feel free to swat them bots. MB, hello from the UK. What did I miss? Basically, I'm trying to finish this thing, and right now it looks extra splotchy on this camera. It looks about half as splotchy in real life, but I need to fix the splotchiness of it. And so I'm planning to do a unifying olive coat, very thin olive coat over it all. Burnt umber, let's try some of that. And so right now I'm mixing this Genesis paint, which is a polymer based paint that you bake in the oven to heat it, to set it. It's really cool stuff. Damon, you got the power! Yeah! Alright, yes. Brown was what I was missing. Now I'm getting closer to olive. Hi, Slack Dragon. I don't recall seeing your name around here before. Are you just a lurker? I guess you wouldn't tell me if you were, right? Because then you wouldn't be lurking anymore. Oh, you banned awesome dating sites? So mean! I assumed reporting it as spam would do that, but you know what? I didn't give it my full time and attention, so I appreciate you doing so. Still terrifyingly saturated, and even more so on your guys' end. But let me go ahead and give this a try on a semi-hidden spot. See what I end up with. Let's see, I was mixing it with the Kato liquid polyclay clear before. I think I will continue with that route. No. B, thank you for the info, Josh. Also for all the precious tips you share in your streams. Oh, it's a delight. So I'm going to mix in probably, what would this be, about 20% to 80%. We'll start with that. Let's see what that gives us. Right now it gives us a very like pond scum green. Still think I want to put a little more yellow in there. I've been using yellow ochre. I'm going to switch and add a little more bismuth yellow. Let's see what that ends up giving me.
So let it rain, let it rain.
That might give me a beautiful snot yellow, I'm guessing.
Let it rain now, so let it rain, let it rain, let it rain, let it rain now.
The thing about thinning it with this as opposed to mineral spirits is that it stays really goopy and thick, so it's not going to succumb to the capillary action and get drawn into all the little micro texture. I think that's the places where the red worked the best on the hand where it was in the thick liquid. Okay. I'm gonna try this guy. This is a smooth base coat brush because I'm doing the equivalent of if I had an airbrush, just like spraying a thin coat over. This is kind of the next best thing. Oops. Okay, I'm recording, so I'm going to do a random clap. Prepare for the random clap. Okay. Just giving myself a hand, psyching myself up. Okay. So I got just kind of a blob on there, and I'm going to be. It's probably a little too aggressive. But, yeah, so I just want a residue on my bristles. Kevin, hello. Slack Dragon says we conversed via email before. I'm the 51-year-old ex. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Glad to talk to you again. Yeah, that's right. Thanks for emailing me. That was a very kind and soul-bearing email. I appreciate that sort of thing. So this is definitely giving it kind of a, well, a much more yellowish cast. It might be still a little too much pigment. The pigment per, or the pigment to thinner ratio. I'm gonna add some more thinner to it. Kevin says, how long this stream will work? Damon is correct. Usually a couple hours. There was one stream I ended up going over 4 hours, but I do not anticipate this stream going over 4 hours. But again, I never anticipate things are going to take as long as they do, so take it for what you will. Ah. One of the beautiful things about this paint is if I don't like what I'm ending up with, I can just rub it all off really easily, because it will never dry on its own without getting baked. So right now this is looking like ghastly yellow to me. And that's fine. So I'll put it on like so. And then all I will do, wait for it, and I will do this. And you see I'm getting a little bit, just a little bit off on the towel there, because I really want it to be just a slight tint. I don't want it to really cover the color underneath. Just trying to unify things. Need to use a smaller brush to push the pigment into all the little crevices that big blocky brush can't reach. Still feels a little saturated to me. I think that's the problem. It's not so much the tone, it's the saturation. So I'm going to try to mix in a little more green into it, or a little more gray into it. I really wish I had just gray. So I should just mix up a batch of gray. That I can dip into as needed.
Just wanna
got flake white and I've got titanium white. And do not see a difference. I've already dug into my titanium white, so I'll continue digging with that. I have a clean tool. Okay, that paint is very thick right now. And now I've popped it onto my tools, which means it's going to be haunting me for all of eternity. I'm going to randomly be picking up little bits of pigment every time I touch these tools. Well, to thin it out, I'm going to use some of this. Oh, actually, I should just use the product that it comes with to thin it out for now. Okay, thinning medium. MB, you gave me £5? Hey, thank you so much. That's very kind. Hassam Khan says, are you from the UK? No, I'm from Seattle, Washington, United States. But now that I have £5, you know, I might as well go visit the UK so I can spend it. I have never been. I've literally never been to Europe. Which is super dumb. Something about getting engaged at 16 years old and then getting married right out of high school and then having kids right away while going to art school kind of precluded that path from my life of like going out and exploring the world. I'll get to it at some point. Slack Dragon says that's $6.65 under current exchange rates. Woohoo! No, that really does mean a lot to me. I've spent so much money on equipment to be able to do my streaming and videos. If you don't include the new computers I had to get because my old computer was getting too old to actually do editing on. If you don't include that $5,000 and just like cameras and equipment, lights, cables, all that kind of stuff, I spent well over $2,000 in the past couple months. So every little bit is a little bit of encouragement that says, all right, people are really appreciating this, and it was worth it. All right, some gray in here. OMB says, almost midnight here, have to go to bed. We'll watch the whole video tomorrow. Bye all for now. Josh, keep up the great work. Sorry, I missed saying good night to you. Good night, but, you know, good day now that you're watching this recorded. Kevin, which hour is in the USA now? Right now it is almost 4 o'clock p.m. on the western coast of the United States. I usually try to start the stream earlier on weekends, but man, my motivation level has just been super low lately. I don't know if it's the cold temperature in my studio, or if it's the lack of light that happens around this altitude around this time of year. But I'm just like, don't even want to finish. I mean, I do want to finish. I don't want to do the work to actually finish. Well, now this is super subtle, but pretty much, I think, exactly where it needs to be. I'm not too worried about it being different on the bottom, because the bottom's going to be, well, A, it's not where most people are going to see, and B, it's in shadow, and C, it's going to be covered in dust and dirt. Oh, right, I mean to do this every episode, because not everyone has seen this from the beginning, but here's the overall thing that's supposed to be going on here. Is you've got this crazy hand wizard who's piloting or driving a steed that is this hand wizard. I mean, he's a hand wizard. He's using his little hand controller here to control the hand. So, okay, get that out of the way. Most of you guys know that, but not everyone. I think I'm going to pop these little guys out. I'm gonna replace them when I put the final little gems on there, but I don't think they're necessary for this part right now. And I think they might, and the paint's getting all over them, which means I'd have to like clean them all off and blah blah blah. It's easier to just put new ones in. Assuming I can pop them off easily. Guess it's not a big deal if some of them stay. I think that one's embedded too deeply. These are going to have little red gems sitting on each of them that are kind of like the puppeting gems that are controlled by the glove that the wizard's wearing. In case you're wondering why they are on there in the first place, that is why. Slack Dragon says, reminds me of something straight out of Heavy Metal magazine back in the 80s. Yeah, I'm sure heavy metal from the 80s has had all sorts of influences on me. I never actually saw the magazine itself when I was a kid, but I mean, it influenced so many movies and video games and other stuff that I did see, that I'm sure it had an indirect effect on me. And toys, for that matter. I mean, like He-Man, that's pretty much just a straight ripoff of the heavy metal aesthetic. Back in the early 80s, I definitely loved the He-Mans. Makes me think, I'll bet there is a collection of heavy metal magazine, you know, like scans or whatever online. I should probably dig into some of that stuff. My favorite artist as a teenager was Rodney Matthews. If you haven't ever looked at his stuff, you should look it up. He does his environment design and environmental storytelling is just top notch. I don't know that he ever did any work for heavy metal, but he certainly had an influence on it. Him and Roger Dean have kind of very similar styles that were both, I think, big influences on the artists of heavy metal. Either that or that was just the general aesthetic, the zeitgeist of art that was floating around at the time. But I'm really wanting to get a very consistent. I'm trying not to be blotchy with this one, so I'm swirling and gouging the brush to get it in all the little cracks, because I want it just a super thin tint over everything. Because you don't want actual like green blotches on the skin. That's not the point of the olive tone. It is a tone that just covers everything because of the way Caucasian skin reflects light. I think I'm gonna try to rub it off the fingernails though. Black Dragon, when you set up, I just realized you're wearing a Boba Fett hoodie. Chilly in the shop, I presume. I'm in Florida with the window open. Yeah, I'll bet winters in Florida are pretty awesome. I can't do the humidity that hits in the summer. Man, ugh. But yes, it is cold in here. Speaking of Boba Fett, though, I'm thinking next stream I want to talk about The Last Jedi. So it'll be a what is it called? Spoilerific stream. I don't want to talk about it yet because I know there's still a lot of people who are seeing it now or soon. But by Wednesday, I figure everyone who's really passionate about it will have seen it. So prepare yourself for The Last Jedi conversation. As someone who grew up with Star Wars as probably one of the biggest influences on my aesthetic, my art, my general, I guess my aesthetic tastes were massively influenced by Star Wars, so I want to talk about it. Dorado says, you left the brass little circle lid on the top of the middle finger. Yeah, this one's it's embedded too deeply. I can't get it out without really tearing up the flesh around it. It's fine. I'll just have to scrub that one off.
Doesn't make it all right. Trampled underfoot by the rise of the right. Yeah. Ich bin ein Ausländer. Ich bin ein Ausländer.
Damien, you're gonna see it Wednesday? Awesome. you'll have it fresh. My company, being a video game company, this is something a lot of them do, is they rent out theaters the day a movie comes out, and the whole studio gets to go see it for free. So one of many perks of working at a video game studio.
Instead, now we have arms to such an extent as the world has never before seen.
It is criminal to teach a man not to defend himself when he is the constant victim of brutal attack.
This area is just really weird and splotchy. I'm considering going back in with a little bit of red, doing similar to what I did with this, like super duper thin, not thin, but low particle density. Is that what that would be? I don't know. Because I learned thinning is bad. That fills in the cracks. You know, I'm going to go ahead and experiment with that right now real quick. What do we got on this brush? Alright, so if I take some red... Oh, actually, I think I already have some really thinned out over here. Not thinned out. What is it called when you mix a lot of medium and a low amount of pigment? Is that thinning? Because to me, thinning is the viscosity of the liquid. And maybe I'm using that terminology wrong. Painting is not my focus.
Suckers like to tell me that I'm screwed up inside, that I'm out of my mind, that I'm living a lie because I don't see what they see. Don't make it easy and accept their opinion is back, but I gotta ask why.
So now I'm kind of mixing on the surface some reds with this olive, and I don't think it's doing anything bad. It's doing a really super subtle rosy, adding a little bit of rosiness, which is cool. Damon, thanks for swatting down all those spam bots. I don't know what the deal is. Why suddenly, out of nowhere? I think I've had like one spam bot before. kind of fun, just bouncing back and forth between the reddish and the olive hue to address little areas where I wasn't happy before. It's super subtle. I don't even know if you guys can tell on the camera, but it's nice to be able to do. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I had a little spot where I missed a cut. There's a cut on his finger right here. That's better. Alright. I think it's more unified than it was at the beginning. I'll have to go back and watch the tape. Not literal tape. To see if this actually accomplished anything, but I feel good. My emotions are better right now, so hey, that's something. I'm gonna throw this in the oven real quick, and then I'm gonna work on the helmet while it bakes. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm going to scrub the olive off of the nails, or I don't think it's doing me any favors. Alright. Perez, I don't know if it's because the camera, but the green is very noticeable. I wonder the same that Slack Dragon asked. Oh, Slack Dragon said, when you're satisfied and bake the pigment on, will it continue to have the sheen or will it become matte? It is a little, it does have some sheen to it, but I was going to spray matte spray over it after I do the other like dirt and grime layer that's going to come next. Yeah, actually to address your greenness issue, I'm gonna, real quick, I'm gonna change the white balance so it's a little more to what the eye actually sees. It's the reason I have it turned down is so you can actually see the paint as I'm applying it. But when I turn the white balance back up, you can see it's not crazy green. So Slack Dragon says, like the olive, give it a necrotic pallor. Okay, one moment, I'll be right back. Okay, because that's such a super thin coat. Actually, this paint itself says it only needs to about 5 minutes at 270 degrees to set. So I'll get back to that shortly. While it's cooking, let's go to the helmet. And I think where I left this off, I decided I need to go back in and do some another round of clay. And it's a little wonky and asymmetrical, but doesn't bother me a huge amount. Let me fiddle with it. As I fiddle with things, I tend to I don't know. My opinions kind of drift and such when I fiddle. Damon says, away from keyboard, about 15 minutes. All right. Are you saying you're gonna be AFK? I'll have to face the spam bots on my own. So I was using a little sander on this previously, and I could break that out again. But sometimes when I change the technique that I use on a thing, it generates more ideas. If I stay in one modality throughout the whole thing, I feel like I miss things. So sometimes I just want to feel it under a blade as opposed to under sandpaper. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's something I've noticed about myself. I guess it's kind of, there's different learning styles. There's people who learn by listening, people who learn by seeing, people who learn by movement, and who learn by touch. And I think this kinesthetic approach of like moving it around, feeling the tool against it in different angles and ways is really helpful to me for fully grasping what I'm working on and where I want it to be. Great incoming spam avalanche. Let's see if we drown in spam. It'd be like that restaurant sketch in Monty Python. The waiter keeps trying to get the guy to have spam, because everything has spam in it. Little drill thingy. This is little bits. I have littler bits hiding somewhere. Where are they? Well, that's super annoying. If I dug for 5 minutes, I would find it. But instead, I'm just gonna use the wrong thing and get frustrated. Bloody Vikings! That's right. You know what I'm talking about. Ouch. Okay. Come on. There we go. Okay. That will help me do what I need to do.
Only a girl with a game plan. I don't have the details all worked out. Well, I've got a lot on my to-do list. But I want to put you right on top, 'cause I want to be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Only a girl with ambition. Well, there's a lot I want to do to see and feel. Well, I'm looking in my little date book, and I want to see a date with you, 'cause I want to be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a
Your nose
lot
is
to
really
work with
asymmetrical. It's
here,
bothering me.
baby. Someday I wanna have red-haired babies and holidays in the sand, but I'm not making demands. No expectations are unavoidable. I'll be as close as I can be to what you need. 'Cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Fire and ice, roll the dice, triple sixes, and I need my Texas.
I really want to have very defined angles on this, because that's kind of the aesthetic of his what is this, chariot basket, whatever that is. So I want a very nice hard line that goes all the way down across the bridge of the nose piece here. But it has to follow an arc, which makes it tricky. If it was flat, it'd be really easy. I could just put it on a sanding belt. But it's not that simple. Got a big windstorm kicking up right now, so if I disappear, it's probably because the power went out. And probably not because I'm a magician who is pulled into an alternate dimension by a competing wizard who's trying to steal my magical powers. That is definitely not why I would disappear. Okay? So don't even consider that if I disappear. I'm gonna try my little Jiggly McDeely tool. Slack Dragon, would you say that art school had a major influence in your approach or style, or was it more technical, giving you a better grasp on the techniques? I was always resistant to the idea of art school. I'll tell you the answer in one moment. Got my definition back here. Yeah, so to answer your question, due to cognitive biases, it's very hard to determine what your actual influences are. And I don't want to talk crap about an institution or people, but the Art Institute of Seattle has been going through a process of getting sued for basically being a diploma mill, meaning that they really don't care about cultivating great artists at the administrative level. There were certainly good teachers that I had, but their primary concern was getting the people who had access to government loans and putting them through a system designed to extract those loans from them. So I've said this a couple times. What I learned at the Art Institute of Seattle from a very good teacher was don't accept your first design on anything. Always design past your first idea. And that was very valuable lesson. Was it, $60,000 valuable? I think I would have picked it up eventually anyway, so I say no. Also, I was going under the pretense that I could learn to make animatronics for movies, and because on the brochure they had, an animatronic face or something like that, and that was kind of the selling point. The degree to do that was industrial design technology, and I went for that, and there was just nothing like what I wanted to do there. But I went through it. I learned a lot about industrial design, I guess. I learned about human factors. I learned about the design process of developing products to market. Well, I wouldn't say I learned a lot. I learned that that is a thing, right? Like, I just hadn't ever considered, oh, wait, ATM machines and toasters and vacuum cleaners and washing machines and these are all things that are designed by industrial designers. Huh. What do you know? Yeah, also not worth $60,000. So. I know there are amazing art schools out there, so I just think the Art Institute of Seattle is not one of them. Okay, I think this This is a good enough state to give it a base coat. But now I'm gonna pull the hand out of the oven. Be right back. I'm gonna let it cool off before I pull it in here. Last time I kind of just picked it up straight out of the oven. It was a little too soft for my comfort. Because the clay gets softer and weaker when it's hot and baking. Let's see, so trying to think of any other elements that need to be oh, yeah, I did want to make a better this is called a lance. There we go. A better lance for this guy. So I'm gonna do that while my guy cools off. Damon is macaroni. Excellent. Well, I don't think I think you successfully terrified the spam bots, so they haven't been back since you left. You are probably known among spam bot circles as the scourge of spam, the killer of dreams, the denier of links. So, words of your deeds have spread far and wide, and we could expect generations of peace in the kingdom as a result. So I'm still not sure exactly what design I want to do on this. I just know that the several things I tried with the current one I wasn't happy with. So yeah, that is a lot to add to your business card. Slack Dragon, thanks for your honest and forthright statement. I appreciate it. Always thought picking the brains of professionals you admire for tips and techniques, no matter the field, a better approach. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm telling my son to do. He just turned 18. He's graduating high school in a couple months, and I am not encouraging him to go to college. I am encouraging him because he's a creative like me. He's more into video editing and that sort of thing. But yeah, that's all stuff you can learn online. I have a friend who does special effects in Hollywood professionally for a living, and we went over and hung out at his place for a weekend and just like picked up a lot of techniques. And so yeah, and everyone is so available online these days, and especially in the art and creative industry, so willing to help people. It's crazy. So one thing I was thinking was like a spiral design going around here, which actually that makes me wonder if I just took some tape. I could probably kind of chart out a design pretty easily. I don't know if a spiral is going to fit aesthetically what I've got going on so far, but I just want to try it. Here's a pretty easy way to try it. What do you guys think? Does that look cool? Cool or not cool? You be the judge. There aren't really any organic shapes per se. Well, I guess his hat is round, and he's got, I guess he does have kind of muscle organic armor showing out there, so it's not completely foreign to the shape language, but there's certainly nothing spirally. Everything is more like concentric lines around things. But I'm not sure how to, I mean, I can do horizontal stripes going up it. That's another possible direction. I could do like thin pin stripes. I don't think that does not strike me as cool, just even saying it out loud. Oh, I have an idea. Use this tape as a mask. Just Sharpie the lines on here. I think I have a really fat Sharpie. Hold on. Actually, spray paint would probably work better for this. And I need to put a base coat on that helmet anyway. But since I started with the Sharpie pen, I don't want to just like stop halfway up, because the ink from the pen is certainly going to be seeping into the wood, and so I imagine it would look, there would be some weirdness if it suddenly went from having Sharpie and black primer to just black primer. That is a guess. Slack Dragon says, not too keen on the spiral, draws the eye away and up. That's interesting. Red Panda says, hello, Josh. Great to finally catch a stream. UK here, so I'm always asleep when you stream. Lol. Keep up the great work. Thanks. Yeah, I try to. That's why I try to do weekends, is so I can do it at different hours. Yeah, appreciate you checking it out. Damon says, looking through a Google search, it appears that all joust lances were either plain or had spiral banding. Most of the flare was reserved for the hilt. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab the hand. I'm going to spray paint this. So give me about 90 seconds. I'll be right back. Alright. And because I didn't think ahead, I got spray paint on the fingers. Not the best thing to be touching your Sculpey with. Tyler Durden says, what's up with the security guard? I don't know what you mean. Unless you're referring to Damon having a wrench in his hand now. Okay, so... yeah, it's probably... so the color is pretty good. No, it is more olive than I was going for, but it did do a good job of unifying stuff. The red doesn't pop out from the yellowish ivory the way it used to, but it's a little greener than I would have liked. On the other hand, yeah, it's, you know, it's a disembodied hand. I mean, so if I wanted to do a living hand, I would be more careful with my color applications. So now I can put on I can start putting on the weathering. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to get my weathering pigments. My weathering pigments, which I apparently hid from myself. One moment. Boo. Liking the hand? Excellent. Okay, recording, sound syncing. Okay. So, I've got all sorts of dirt and gunk. I'm going to be using most of the same ones that I used to age and dirty up his, whatever that word is. I mean, is it a chariot? What did I use? Pretty sure I used some of this. Or is this liquid? Oh, this is liquid, okay. It's a texture. These ones are powders. This is a texture. Powder. Let's see, I believe I was just mixing this stuff with mineral spirits. So, I take start with this darker brown stuff. And then you can apply it, so there's a couple ways you can do it. There are two ways you can do it that I know of. So, I'll do it one way first, which is just apply some mineral spirits on the surface, and then you can just tap the powder onto that, and wherever the, you know, it'll kind of stick to it. So that's a good way to get like clumpy mud, dirt kind of thing. And then if you go in and tap it around, you get really, really dirty, muddy stuff. And, you know, it's paint suspended in pigment, or pigment suspended in, I can't word today, but the point is, just like paint, you can smear it around and, you know, grind it into the cracks. And if it's too much, go in with more words are not my friend today. More of the mineral spirits. And yeah, just work it back and forth until you get the amount you want. So I do not mind the capillary action pulling the pigment into the cracks on the bottom here, because I want it to be all weathered and dirty and gross. Like, there's just a lot of mud and dust that's been kicked up by running around on battlefields. So the tips of his fingers are definitely going to be filthy. Slack Dragon says the sheen was dulled quite a bit in baking, or did you hit it with the mat? No, that's just from the baking. The only reason I know it applied a little bit of a sheen was because I had a few areas where I had painted like the veins, and there wasn't any other paint around it, and there was just a little bit of a sheen that you can see over that. But since I did the whole thing, you know, coated the whole thing with that olive tone, that'll give it a consistent sheen over everything, so won't be as apparent this time. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off most of this muck. Except for the creases where it's just built up. Let's see, this finger doesn't get all that muck because it's kind of the head, the proxy head for the creature. Probably going to want to filth up the fingertips quite a bit more, but I'm gonna sneak up on it. I'm not gonna just do a full blast from the beginning. Okay, so that's the very muddiest and dirtiest part. Now I'm going to use some, let's see, is this lighter? It's a little lighter. I think I want to use more of this rust colored stuff. Tyler says, don't forget to put on hand sanitizer. Oh, good point. Damon says, thought about actually caking the fingertips on the ground in mud instead of just paint spatter. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that near the end. So letting the capillary action suck the mineral spirits into the this clumped up earth, and that will stick it in place and keep the clumps as well. Yeah, I'll probably do a lot of that around the fingertips, but not just yet because I still want to get kind of a dust poofy-ness that's kind of, you know, when dust is kicked up over a thing, there's this nice graduation of where it's really dusty around the bottom and then kind of just slowly works its way up. I should probably get the little bits and bobs affixed before I do more of this, because those are going to naturally have some of that dust accumulation on them as well. Okay. Which means I also need to, yeah, I need to drill these holes a little deeper. Get my drill. Slack Dragon says, never would have thought of that technique. You know, I probably wouldn't think of a lot of techniques either had I not just like watched random tutorials and just run across things throughout the years. So, glad to share them with others. Ah, crap. That's why I don't want to do the big blobby chunks until later. I reached under and grabbed the bottom of the hand. Oopsie daisies. Yeah, that's not right. That's not what a drill is supposed to do. Okay, so on my little jewels. And, okay, here's, I should have a bunch of other of these little dishy guys in bags, and because my work area is a disaster, I'm not seeing them. But I really don't want to stop and spend 5 minutes cleaning in the middle of all this. Let's see, can I just move stuff around until they magically appear? That is the question. No magical appearances yet. Stand by. Well, I know some of them are in here, but maybe I actually had all the other ones out. That would be annoying. Had I known that, I would not have popped off all the other ones. Also, these are very, very difficult to pick up from a smooth glass surface.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
On the video with Kurt
Mm-hmm.
giving hugs, I put a text and it says hug landed exclamation point.
Oh, that'll help.
Okay. And because that one was shot vertically, it's obvious in black and it doesn't cut off any video.
Excellent.
I don't like editing videos. This is very stressful.
Editing video sucks.
Well, I don't know half of the stuff that I'm doing, and it's really hard to find any. There's so many buttons.
Yes. Too many buttons.
Pushing my buttons.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I do this, I think I need to ration these first. Okay. So I need to make sure. So there are five fingers, right? Yes. And so I need 5 little ones. Okay, that's not going to be a problem. Okay, 5 mediums. Not a problem. It's the 5 larges I'm more worried about. Specifically clean ones that I would like. Ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Not a problem. Okay, so large jewel, large reflector dish. Boink. And then it's just a matter of clipping these guys down to size. And super glue. Oh, Damon, I'll have to say hi to her later for you. She's in the midst of her own learning to edit video odyssey right now. But since she's doing it on some iMovie, it's like a really simplified Mac version of an editing program. I do not know the answers to her questions, sadly. Hold. I think that'll hold. But it's a pretty cool effect, I thought, when I put these little pieces together, because the red reflects off the gold dish in interesting ways. I'm gonna have to go in and add gold paint on the tip of the pin. I couldn't find any gold headed pins. Something I was considering doing, and I'm still considering it, is doing this. Having a little topper. Makes it a little more of a cohesive design, but the problem is that because the dishes get smaller as it goes down the finger, by the time you're at the last one, if it's covered like that, it's just this itty bitty jewel sandwiched between these larger dishes. And at that point, it's almost like you can see it from the side, but from the top, it just looks like a good drum kit thing. So that's why I'm leaning towards not having that. We got medium and medium. Man, these pins are hard to clip. Did the music stop? I don't hear any music anymore. I need my MTV. That's better. Man, the spam bots are getting vicious. Are they mad at you? Did you insult their mothers? Maybe it's like the boss wave of spam bots. Or maybe it's because I was just bragging about your spam smashing prowess. And they were like, oh, we'll show them. You need a doom glyph. The band hammer. probably save this really repetitive thing for a non-stream activity. Let's get this last one in. I'll just try to get this last one in. Okay. Yeah, so I crushed all my beautiful dirt clumps down there. That makes me sad. Yeah, you gotta go in with a clear coat after you've done that, or you'll just squash them again. Oh yeah, look how great that dust ramp is looking there. Needs to be evened out a little bit, I think, because this brush is too fiddly. I want to have some clumps of dirt and stuff, but the really fine dust buildup tends to be a really consistent thin film. It's not chunky and blobby. Where did my powder go? This is the dark mud. Huh. Guess I was just pouring it straight out of the bottle. I swear this is... Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was that light. It's this one. Light mud. David says, focus on your actual hand instead of the sculpture hand. Are you saying that, are you suggesting that's what I should be doing, or that's what I am doing? Camera focuses more on your hand is what he means. Okay, let me try to get us in a better position here. I've got just a very small amount of the weathering powder on my brush, and I'm just trying to pull up that dusty powder subtly. This is another unifying element that's going to go over most of the hand. So. Trying to remember what I did exactly to get this kind of dry, dusty powder look that I'm not getting on the other parts. I don't know if I just had more pigment on there or if it was a ratio of pigment to mineral spirits. Oh, I'm getting my weathering powder all over my nice clean discs down there. Whoops. Definitely, when you're doing kicked up dust, you got to make sure it gets in the cracks the most, because that's where it gets kind of, it gets captured, and then through like sweat and oil and stuff like that, it gets compounded into place. Nasir, hello. It's been a while, yeah. What you been up to, Nasir? That reminds me, you should definitely mark it on your calendar now. I'm gonna have my mom on for another live stream about Tales from Telefar. Let's see, is it gonna be this coming Saturday? Is this coming Saturday, the Saturday before Christmas? I think it is. Yeah. So we're gonna be working on designing a new sentient creature, and so people who enjoy talking about creature design and how science affects that and realism and all that kind of stuff should definitely tune in. That's going to be fun. It's getting laggy, Damon. Well, I mean, you're a moderator, so fix that. Make it less laggy. Isn't that part of the powers of the blue wrench? Gives you that power? Okay. It's probably pretty good for the dust. I want to bring it up a little bit onto the top, but not much. So I'm gonna put a little bit of mineral spirits just where I want the dust to be, which is mostly in little cracks, wrinkles. Tap a little over there, whoop, or a lot over there. But just blow it away. In fact, I'm gonna mostly dry off this brush and just kind of sweep away the stuff I don't want. Okay, now I'm wanting to get just a little bit more in some of these cracks where the dust would have been blown up, you know, from all the trampling around, and just trapped in the crevices. So I'm using the capillary action to just let the mineral spirits soak into the cracks. I'm not trying to touch the blobs of pigment on there. I'm just trying to get the cracks filled in, and then blow away most of the pigment, and wherever it's left, it's kind of random, which is what I want, pulling it into the crevices that way. One thing I found is that no matter how hard I try to, if I'm trying to make something look like it's randomly been spattered on the surface, you know, by just like actually going in and touching it with my brush where I think random would be, it's never as good and random as truly doing random spatters and dropping powder and dust and that sort of thing. Oh, shoot. Got to be recording this. Alright. I have to do the rest of these jewels before I do more gunk. So sorry guys, this is going to be a little boring for a while. Unless you have something fascinating to talk about. Nasir, you are busy with meaningless matters of life. Wow. That sounds either no fun or too fun. I don't know which. I'm ending up getting dust and grime all over little things, but actually that's probably for the better. They should be dusty.
With a blessed sign. Take from the rich and give to the poor. Oh Lord, train my hands for war. Oh Pharisaical scribes, search your text. For the passage where the last generation comes by the next. Get on your knees. Get on your knees. generation of the so-called God brain. Yet for his name they will surely die. Yet for his name they will
Yeah.
surely die. Yet for
Great.
his
You gotta love it
name
when needles
they
fall on the
will
floor.
surely die.
You know you're gonna find that later. Worst possible way.
The rich who give to the poor. Oh Lord, train my hands for war. Oh Pharisees, scribes, search the text for the passage of masturbation. Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride.
Oh, you know what? I got super glue accelerator. I should be using it. Slack Dragon, as someone who is barefoot most of the time, I'd be the designated needle finder. I wish I could be barefoot, but my toes get so cold if it's like below 72 degrees. There's a guy at work who always goes around barefoot. That's like a whole part of his persona. He goes by Barefoot Matthew. You know, if that's what makes you happy. Okay. So, a little spritz of this. Oh. Should make that super glue dry almost instantly. So I can just pin that in place and it stays. Now, here's a great question. What does mixing super glue accelerator with all the other paints I have on here do? Does it destroy everything? Guess we'll find out. Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion of Did I Destroy Everything? Messier says, Josh, you see the cut on the hand on its place before, and there was a tissue like this. It was cool because it made the hand look semi-dead. It's cut on the hand. I'm not sure if you're saying like it looked right before and now it doesn't, or you're saying it looks great now. You have to be more specific. This is a wound from getting stabbed with a lance. Nice. That pin landed on my crotch. I don't know if it bounced down onto the floor or not, so that'll be a really uncomfortable one to find later. Potentially. Oh, you're saying, okay, yeah. So I had this hand. Is this what you're talking about? And this one has the more wide open gash wound on it. Damon says, the audio video out of sync for anyone else. I don't know, I've got everything hooked up as best I can. It says it's in the green, so it's possible that because there's a windstorm right now, there's some lag coming out of my house to the servers. That would be my only guess. Sorry. What's going on? Go in the hole. Why will you not just go in the hole? Don't know why this thing is having a problem. So many things having problems. The internet's having problems, and my finger's having problems. Is very out of sync. Wish I knew any idea of a thing I could do about that, but I do not. Somehow I got the drill hole in completely the wrong place. Several second delay on the video. Nasir is saying maybe it's net neutrality. Yeah, you know, I didn't expect it to hit us so fast, but I would also not be surprised. Super glue everywhere. Gotta love the way super glue magically sticks to your finger and the thing you're trying to glue onto something else more than the two things you're trying to glue together. It's some magical process. Come on. Please just stay. Now you must stay. The power of Instaset compels you. Done with the spray yet, please? Almost. Just got the helmet to put on there. First time you see me without gloves? Yeah. Probably should put on gloves. Out how my little skewer McDeely worked out. Huh. Well, I think this was not the best tape to use for this process. I should have used painter's tape. There's a little bleeding going on. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it some more. Okay, this guy. Go on like so. Nasser says, Josh, I'm considering starting an art channel. It's going to be drawing only from the beginning. Then I might do other things. What do you think? I think that sounds awesome. The more art channels there are, the cooler the world gets, as far as I'm concerned. I will definitely check it out.
Photograph child.
Roxy the Foxy, hey there. First things I've seen these managed to catch live or something. I really enjoy your work and I've learned a whole bunch from you, so thanks. Also, this is looking dope. Thank ya. Glad you made it, Foxy the Roxy, or Roxy the Foxy, or however you said it. I'm gonna have to paint this helmet to match this style. Which is just a little bit of silver. Few major things I need to do. Okay, I need to do gloss up here on the skin. I guess I need to get the I'm thinking about dust on this helmet thing, but like I can't dust it properly until it's got the silver accents on it. Got this shiny residue from the Insta set, but I'm going to be spraying a matte clear coat over this, which is never really that matte, so but it will probably be more matte than this. And hopefully there won't be some weird chemical reaction. Usually when there's reactions between paints, it's like the one on top just won't dry. And that's really annoying, but I haven't had any problems with accelerators for super glue before, so hopefully I still won't. I'm wondering if I want to cover these jewels when I spray it. Well, actually, now that the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I don't actually need to spray it with a matte coat. Like it seems pretty right on. Like when I look at how shiny my own hand is. Let's adjust this so we get a little closer. Not working? No? Oh, there we go. So if we turn it way down, I can kind of see the reflectivity of my hand. Like, look right there when I can see the little bit of reflection. And if you get something similar from your piece, like I'm looking at this line of reflection right there, it's just about the same value. It's hard to tell with camera and lighting and stuff, but from eyeballing it, to me it looks about right. Nasir says, I won't share my channel with you, lol. If I did, I think it would put pressure on me to do better than I could. Hey, everyone is at their own level. I watch channels of people that are 1,000 times better than me and 1,000 times worse than me. It's the creative process that's fun, you know. Damon says, AFK again, hopefully no spam for a bit. I hope so. JD, hello. Caught this late. Slack Dragon says, looks good, I wouldn't mat it, but that's why I went into IT and didn't make a career in art. Roxy says, I was thinking the same thing. Skin does have at least a tiny bit of natural shine, so it doesn't look out of place or strange or anything. Yeah, I actually think it's right where skin needs to be. Okay, so let me do the one thing I know needs to be done. Get a little silver. There's my silver. There we go. Trying to decide what brush I want to use for this. Got an idea. I'm going to try real quick. Let's see what happens if I make the inside. Oh, I should have done this before I glued it to the head. See if it's easy to pop off and on. See what happens if I do the inside part of these eyes silver, just to give it a little bit of a gleam. Should catch the light every once in a while. Yeah, I think that's cool. And then just hit these blades. Yes, here it says, is the FU finger in the attack, is the attacking finger, because the only one who has a sharp nail. Yep. He's got the middle finger, has his head, he can do stabby jabby maneuvers. And that is mirrored in the lance that the hand wizard had. See his lance here. Might be kind of hard to tell, but it's like a fist, and the middle finger is the lance. Perfect for poking monsters in the eye with. Now, definitely want to bring some of this dust up onto the helmet. Okay, I'm gonna record this last segment here. Gonna do a clap. Hold on a sec. It occurred to me I can dust over this shine pretty well. Put the lid on my thing. This is just going to be a filthy finger. Absolutely filthy. That's good. Let me build up some dust on the little gold plates and gems and stuff, because I want that to be integrated.
From darkest night to blinding light, I find my way through endless ways of experience. Shown a world with love unfurled. The dream becomes reality, such much it seems. Longs to mesh with my own flesh.
Oops.
My life's a breath
Not gonna
I'll
get that much
breathe
on
my
there.
last just to slip away. My life's a breath I'll breathe my last just to slip away.
What I should do is get some
Life's
really
a breath
like
I'll
dried
breathe
blood
my last just
color to spatter on here. Does so much jabbing.
Only a girl with a game plan. I don't have the details all worked out. Well, I've got a lot on my to-do list. But I wanna put you right on top, 'cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil doll. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Let's meet in the middle somewhere. Only a girl with ambition. Well, there's a lot I want to do to see and feel. Well, I'm looking in my little date book, and I want to see a date with you. 'Cause
some more dust. Jewels up in.
Expectations are more unavoidable. I'll be as close as I can be to what you need. 'Cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil down. Fire and ice, roll the dice. 666s and I need my Texas, yeah. 'Cause I wanna be your candy angel. Want you to be my devil down. Sweet and sour, weak with power. Well, I think we've got a lot to go with here, baby. I wanna be your candy angel.
What I might do is just do some, just do a coat of matte sealant just on the bottom here, so I could really cement the muddy clumps into place. And now I'm reminded I also needed to do a little gold flecks on the tips of those needles. Nasir says, I didn't catch the process of this hand. Is it a side project or for the book? No, it's something I started a long, like 10 years ago or more, and it's just been sitting to the side, and I thought I could use it for one of my classes for my next series of intermediate polymer clay classes. So dusted it off, started working on it, and then ended up scrapping it and starting over. So, because you know, the class is more important than finishing my 10-year-old crappy skull. Roxy says, I really like the details of having the other 4 fingernails shaped like cloven hooves. I wouldn't have been able to watch your progress for a while, and it's really cool to see how far it's come. Awesome. Last saw you were redoing all of the original skin you had planned. Yep, I sure was. Nasir says, Josh, you said something about a live stream about your book. When is that going to be? That's going to be this Saturday, so a week from yesterday. I'm gonna, cause my mom's gonna be up for Christmas, so we'll do another live stream with my mom. We've been talking about this new creature, and so we'll be going through the design of it. So if you want to help design a creature for Telefar, that's a good time to tune in. Give us your feedback as we're designing it live in real time. I'm going to be sculpting on it in ZBrush, and we'll be looking at reference, talking about you know, this scientific plausibility of the design and that sort of thing. So probably can't tell, but now all those little itty bitty spots that were silver are now slightly gold. Look at this one. I got it now. Okay. So I'm gonna put some clear stuff. Let's see. Magic gloss. Let's see, do you bake this stuff? Or does it just get glossy? Apply, spread with toothpick, cure with UV lamp. Oh, no, I'm not gonna do that. I refuse. That's satin glaze. Is this air drying glaze? Okay, but it's satin. I don't want satin, I want gloss. Okay, that's gloss. You'll be ready with popcorn. Excellent. Just don't let it get so, don't let your fingers get so greasy with popcorn that you can't type in and give us feedback and stuff. Okay, so glossy accents is like it's a clear gloss medium. There you go. I think I can literally just squeeze it on. Except it's a little clogged up because it's pretty old. Let's start over here. Now, I'm going to take a little brush, probably a longer one. Yep, keep touching the bottom of the hand. Stuff's pretty thick and goopy. And now I can apply it down in the wounds to give them the shininess they need to be nice and woundy. Really helps to bring the wound to life. Most of these I'm kind of going for a look like they happened long enough ago where they're not actively, you know, spewing blood. So I don't want them to be super shiny. There needs to be enough due to the depth of the wound to really sell it. Actually, I think I have too much gloss up here, like covering all the sculpted detail. Most of that.
Chase you down the mountain face with sabers drawn and eyes ablaze, awake again, but the night has lost its glow. It's the constant deliberation, it's the motion, mutilation, the scalpel falls, the only words are
Okay. Another thing I wanted to try. If I'm not going to spray a clear coat over this, I can do it now. I wanted to try to stick some hairs in there. Nasir says, so are these hands life-size with tiny people controlling it, or a giant hand with normal-sized people? Apply them on the bite marks on the middle finger. Done. Damon says, giant hand, normal people. Yeah, that was the way I was thinking of it. Slack Dragon says, the repurposed hand of a fallen titan. Exactly. Like the placeholder story I have is that these wizards, in order to join the order of hand wizards, they have to go out, slay a giant, and reanimate its hand, and then they can challenge each other or go hunt bigger, crazier monsters on their hand steed. Okay, so I'm going to take this in here, this in here, hook it into follicles. Don't know if that's going to be visible at all. There's a darker background, you can kind of see it. So super glue is the best way to go with this, or like fabric glue. One thing I'm noticing is I need a tweezer. This is going to be super subtle, probably only visible to people who see it up close. But hey, if future historians ever need to clone me, you know where you can find my hair. So you never know, in the future they may run out of YouTube content and they'll be like, how do we get more YouTube content? And they'll figure it out, oh, we should just clone previous YouTube channel people. And then they'll be, but how do we get their DNA to clone them? Here is your answer. Just find wherever this sculpture is. There'll be a dozen little Josh hairs in it. In case you're wondering, I will be cutting these down to a normal length, but it's easier to apply them if they're a little longer. Also, I apologize to anyone who finds human hair actively disgusting like my wife does. I could get really pedantic about this and put a hair in every single little follicle that I poked on here. But I don't know that that's really necessary to... The point is I want when people to look close for them to be like, oh my god, that looks so real. And I think just seeing a couple hairs catch the light is probably all you need to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here. And Sarah says, so they're controlling the hand with magic, but will the hand dissolve over time, or it stays the same? That's a good question. Damon says, stupid work calls are so busy tonight, interrupting my stream time. Oh man, you should threaten to quit. What am I using for hair? I'm using hair. I got plenty of it. See if I can get it to where you can actually see the hair going in. Huh. Yeah, this is super fine. All I want is for the light to catch it at certain angles. Really all you need to be convincing. That looks so gross. Pretty long. Slack says only 2 times when I find human hair disgusting, in food and clogging a shower drain. This use is pretty clever. You really put yourself into your art. Yep. You know, use what materials are on hand. On hand. I really should have just pulled them out of my own hand. But I thought it'd be a bit safer to go with really blonde, light hair than to go with the dark hair, because if I go with the dark hair, I feel like I'll need to actually fill in every follicle, because it'll look really sparse and wrong if there's only a couple dark hairs. Whereas the light hairs, your eye can be tricked. You'll see a couple sheens of light off the hair, and you won't see the rest, but that's expected with light hair. With dark hair, you see a couple hairs, you expect to see all the hairs. That's my thinking there. Come on, get in there. Dark background here. Yeah, so you can see the hairs, and there's a dark background. So I did a good strategy. I didn't eat before, or I haven't eaten at all today yet. Which means that I won't let my obsessive compulsive tendencies make me do this 800,000 times like I'm tempted to do, because eventually my body will just give out and I will have to eat. Otherwise, I would be here like 12 hours straight doing this. Nobody wants that. Plus, I can always add more whenever I want. Unless I go bald. And then I'll have to like steal someone's hair at night while they're sleeping. Sneak into their house, snip a couple of their hairs off, and leave. They'll be none the wiser. But no one in my family has gone bald, so I don't think that's going to happen. Blast you, super glue. It'd be so much easier if I could put the super glue on the surface of the skin and then just touch the hairs down on it. But that always ends up making little shiny patches. Alright, I feel like 3 or 4 more is probably sufficient. Slack says, have you used real hair or fur in other places? No, I don't think so. I used a lot of fake fur on the Colossus, but not real fur. I looked into it. Well, I guess I've used alpaca fur for doll hair. But yeah, usually I'm sculpting hair. I'm not using actual fibers for hair. Okay, we need to do a couple more. On the middle finger, because it looks weird if it's on these fingers and not the other one. Even better, I'm now realizing is that having not eaten all day, my hand's starting to get shaky. So not only will I just pass out, the quality of the work that I'm doing is going to diminish much faster, thereby forcing me to stop this madness sooner. Man, my hair is just too fine. Why not grab the super glue? But I did want super fine hair on here, so. Alright. Getting sick of it. Finally. Damon says, now I'm just imagining a big blonde giant. Yeah, there you go. Let's see the little hairs there. Very subtle, but I like it. Okay, am I? Oh, one. Okay. Where are we at? Where are we at time-wise? Do I have time for one more thing? 3 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, this should be super fast actually, because all I want to do is add some blood red sprinkles It's pretty much, that looks about right. Let's see. Yeah, supposed to look like old blood. Now I'd really like to spatter this with toothbrush so that it's not. It's gonna be tricky. But I don't want to get it all over. Let's see what happens if I do just a little bit first. I know one thing I could do is use, there we go. Use this one. I have a big blobby brush. Come on. Where? This might work. That gets the point across. Not going overboard. Ah, more lag, huh? Okay, I'll tell the windstorm to stop. Nasir says, with Titans, I usually think of red hair. Ah, blonde, red. Could go either way. Yeah, well, it looks like the spam bots are ready to take over the stream anyway, so I'd say now's a good time to call it. See how it all works together. Yeah, I mean, my video is coming out on the 1st, and we'll be able to see a nice glory shot of it when it's done. It's hard to make out with all this garbage around it, but yeah. I'm happy for today. Yes, so, Wednesday, I'll see you, and if all goes according to plan, I won't be working on this anymore. Fingers crossed. Keep all your fingers crossed, like this guy. Cross your finger like that. and we'll be good. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your help, Damon. Keeping the spam bots at bay, and yeah. See you guys next time. Whoa, my beard looks really gross and weird there. Okay. Bye-bye.